Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Leslie here with the Plaid Poodle. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. We're gonna make a fun card today. I'm really excited about it. It's something different, a little bit out of my box. The colors are a little different than what I normally go to, so I'm really excited. I'm gonna wait a minute till I see some eyeballs on me. Okay, I see some people here. If you'd like to comment, I always draw a name from the comments. Hi, Laura. I always draw a name from the comments too, and then I mail the card that we make to that person. So if you'd love to get a card, I'd just say hi or tell us where you're from or anything. You can tell us anything. Because if you don't comment, I don't really know who's watching. I see their eyes on me, but I don't know unless you comment. So if you want to remain anonymous, don't comment. We're going to use the stamp set today that we made this card with. Let me turn my camera around. We made this card, I think we did this last week. Such a pretty little card. And we used the Forever Fern stamp set. And I'm actually not using, well, I am using one stamp from the stamp set. I am using a die from the coordinating dies. And when you purchase the stamp and the dies together, hi Chris, you save 10% on that. So I always like to mention that. And then the sentiment on the card today comes from the Peaceful Moments, which was in our spring catalog. Hi, Donna. So that is the stamp set or bundle we're using today to make the card. Before I get started, just a reminder about the hostess code for June. Any purchase of $30 or more, your name gets put in to win a drawing, and the stamp set for this month's drawing is the My Meadow stamp set. It's kind of a fun little stamp set. So if you're placing an order with me, hi Kathy, use this hostess code and get your name in for the stamp set. And if the winner gets the stamp set, and if you don't get the stamp set, I send you a little something in the mail, a little happy mail, because I appreciate y'all so much supporting me. One more announcement and then we'll get to stamping. I am going to have a June card class to go. It's very late in the game, the middle of the month, but it's using a stamp set and die set that I was not able to get to. It was in the spring catalog, and it, thank goodness, remained over into the new annual catalog. I just think it's the cutest little stamp set, and it's perfect for nautical themes, masculine cards, and we don't make a lot of masculine cards on here, so I'm really enjoying playing with this. I don't have the samples yet, but watch your email box because I'm finishing them up today. Here are 2 samples, so I have 2 more cards to finish. And all the card class kits to go information will be in that email. Aren't they cute? This one's real nautical. If you know any sailors. Hi, Carol. And this one's just kind of beachy and fun. So I have 2 more to go, and then I'll be putting that in my newsletter. So, and I'll also post it on my Facebook page. But if you're not on my newsletter, go over to my blog, theplaidpoodle.com, and there's a little spot, and you can sign up, and you'll get all the info on that. Because I will be sending that out this afternoon about the Buy the Doc card class. Okay, this is the card we're going to make today. I hope you can see that little middle that looks kind of watercolory? And the colors I'm using today are terracotta tile, which is usually a color that I pull out in the fall, but I decided to just think outside the box a little bit today. So my card base is made out of the terracotta tile, and thank you, Carol. I hope I get done before your break's over, Kathy. Hi, Loopy. It's 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half for the card base. And then I have the first layer is a basic black because I wanted to frame out my art or whatever you call it. So it is 5 by 5.25 by 4. And then what we're going to do, our fun sponging technique is, this is the inside of the card. The inside of the card is 5.25 by 4. And then our little layer that we're going to stamp in and sponge on is, I think it's 3 3/4 by 5. And I will have all of this on my blog later. If you all wanted the directions for the little watermelon milk cartons we made on Monday, I do have that up over on my blog. So if you ever wanted to make one of those milk cartons, a 2-inch milk carton, 2-inch around, it's over there on my blog. Okay, we're going to start out with this 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of paper, and you want to have a lot of blue tape or hi Donna, Post-it notes, or what else do we use to hold our stuff down? I'm using washi tape. I need to order some more Post-it notes, but I have plenty of washi tape. And then you're just going to want a piece of scrap paper. This is just a piece of copy paper, typing paper. And we're just going to tear it. I don't want any big dips or mountains. If you wanted to use this technique to make some mountains, it would be a really good technique to just make them taller and have, you know, the mountains in the background. This would work really well. This card is 15 of these little squares wide, so I'm placing my little scrap paper up about 5. That's how I figured it. So I'm dividing my card into thirds. And I'm just going to tape this down really well. I'm using it as a mask or a stencil. It's somewhat of a stencil. And then I can take this other piece and I'm going to use this side. And again, I just count down about 5 of the little squares. So when I'm all said and done, my card's broken up into 3 sections, thirds. Okay, the colors I'm using are, I wanted to use one of our new colors, so I pulled out the bumblebee yellow. I thought that went really well with our terracotta tile. And I used a sponge and a sponge dauber, but I could have just used either one. I didn't need to use both. But what I wanted to do is make the center a little lighter and have some more definition around the edges. And that's why I kind of started out with the sponge. And I always like to start off the page because that first little spot really takes the ink or it's the darkest. So I always like to kind of just start off toward the side. And then I took my little sponge dauber and just kind of, you got to be careful because you don't want to tear back the paper stencil that you've made. I'm trying to do this so you can see and not have my hand in the way. So I'm just kind of rubbing towards the center so I don't tear or flip that stencil or mask back. And pretty soon I'm going to kind of start doing a little swirly motion. Bye, Kathy. Have a good day. Come back and watch the replay. I'm not really doing anything fancy. I'm just kind of, you know, I'm not really doing any technique at all. I'm just getting some ink on there, and it's going to be real pretty when we pull off these scrap pieces. I'm going to kind of blend it all together. Okay. See how pretty that is? I thought that would be a real good technique for water. If you wanted to show some water, an ocean setting or lake setting, or like I said before, mountains, depending on how you tore your paper, but it's almost like we watercolored it, really. It's pretty cool. Okay, now I wanted to do some splatters. I don't know if you can see them. There's a few splatters. I'm not good at splattering, but I've been working on it. And so I took some terracotta tile re-inker. I'm going to move all my cards way out of the way. And just the tiniest little bit. We don't need much. And then you can use an aqua painter or a paintbrush. I'm just using this cheap little well, I might need to add more. I am going to need to add more. You know, I washed that brush before, but I thought I dried it really well. That was about an hour ago. Here we go. Oh, good splatter. Oh, see, I told y'all. We'll cover that up mostly with our fern, that big splatter right there, but that's kind of what we're going for. We're going for some artistic looking splatters. I tried the aqua painter and I find them to be too watery. It waters the ink down. You're finally getting more brave with splattering. Me too. And I should have done this ahead of time so that had some time to dry. But we'll go ahead and put our layers together here. So this is the inside of the card, and I'm using the small leaf image from the stamp set. What did I do with the stamp set? Here it is. I'm using this small leaf image. And I'm using the terracotta tile. Yeah, your aqua painter. That's a good thing to use, Carol. I tried that earlier and it just was too watered down. I think my aqua painter was a little, I needed to dry it off a little bit. So I'm just putting that little tiny little image in the corner. And then I'm going to let that dry just a sec. I'm using my new Stampin' Seal. I'm so excited. And I keep wanting to check mark like our old fast fuse, but we don't have to check mark, they say. It runs like butter. I like them. I like the new adhesive. And I like that there's so much more adhesive in the roll. It is trial and error. And you just have to be brave, like you were being. Oh, you guys, look what I did. Put that on the inside. Woo! Easy fix. I get to talk and forget what I'm trying to do. I love how these stamps are not just solid. I just love that about this stamp set. I know I said that the other day when we made the other card. But I don't know what I did with now. But I love that it's got like a little shading, a little texture to it. Okay, this is what I meant to do. Then we're going to cut the little, let me get my sample out here. This is about dry. We're going to cut the little fern die out of some terracotta paper. These are the stamped images that there are dies for, and then these are just your bonus little greenery. So I'm going to cut that out with this. It's a really good sized die. I really like it. So this piece of paper is 4 by 3 to fit our little die on there. And voila. I went ahead and cut it before we came on. So I'm going to very carefully, I think it's pretty dry. I am going to very carefully pick this up. So nothing blurs. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, ladies and gents, I need to stamp the sentiment on there. Now that I've got adhesive all over it, what I will do is put this plastic piece down, this little bag. My magnets just grabbed each other. Just grabbed each other for a hug. They missed each other. Thank goodness they didn't break. And I've already got my stamp in there. I just used my Stamparatus so I would make sure that it was placed right where I wanted it to go on that watercolor piece, right in the center. And this is the Memento Black ink. So a couple of times on there. Oh. Well, we're getting a test of the stamp and seal. It really sticks. It sticks to the plastic. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad I didn't forget that before I put it on. I guess we could have put it on and stamped it. Do you have a favorite bundle or suite from the new catalog? I like the Playful Pets suite, but I have to save up some more money so I can get that that suite. But I like that Playful Pets. It's so cute. What is your favorite bundle from the new catalog? Anybody? Do you have a favorite? And Donna Pollock, that's a good idea. I've used a toothbrush too. I had an old toothbrush sitting around, so I should pull it out. Now I'm just going to glue this little fern down, And that is the card. The sentiment I used from the, I forget the name of it, Peaceful Moments. It coordinated with the Peaceful Poppies, which these are all in the new catalog as well, is thinking of you with all my heart. I thought that was a good sentiment. I've done a lot of thank you cards and a lot of birthday cards. So I thought we were due for an encouragement card. Or you could really send this to anybody for any occasion, just to let them know you're thinking of them. You love the jar of flowers, yeah. That is a pretty one. That is a pretty one. There we go. I put that fern on there. We covered up that huge splatter. And then the last thing I did is I put a little linen thread right here at the base of the fern. I can't hardly make a card without putting some kind of embellishment on it. I just always like to put a sequin or a ribbon or something. I think it's pretty without the ribbon. Thank you, Donna. This is real easy to do, and you could use it with any color and any style of stamp, really. That was my hardest decision today, is what colors to use. I think it would look really pretty with blues. Real summery. I'm just going to put a little dot of, do you guys realize I just did this whole Facebook Live without my glasses on? I just realized when I was trying to see that little dot of glue. That's awesome that I did that. I just need a little scrap here because I put too much glue on there. Scrape it off. This was the leftover from our watermelon milk cartons. So you know I didn't clean my desk totally off. I did clean it quite a bit because I lost a stamp. Yesterday I was working on this card that we're going to have in our June card class kit to go. And this little guy, I forgot to put him on a block. And then when I was ready for him, I knew I wanted to put him up here in the sky. I could not find him. I looked everywhere. I cleaned my whole desk off. I shuffled through the carpeting because now I can't vacuum till I find that tiny little stamp. Then I went through my trash thinking maybe I, accidentally knocked it in the trash. And this morning I prayed, Lord, help me find that stamp. They would make good Thanksgiving cards. That's true. That's why I said I pull out these colors in the autumn, the terracotta tile and the Cajun craze, but I just was feeling it today. Anyway, I pulled a tool out of I have a little tool organizer, and it was stuck on the bottom of this thing. And I said, oh, thank you, Lord. He helped me find it this morning. I was getting ready to just use a stamp from a different stamp set. It just needed something up there in the sky. I got a little adhesive on here, girls, so I'm going to... There we go. That is the card for today. So, thanks, Laura. Thank you, Debbie. Any questions? Like I said, keep an eye out for your mailboxes because I'll have the information about the Buy the Dot Card Kit to Go class. I have 2 more cards to complete. It's been so much fun to work with. And then I'll have an email sent out. So if you're not on my email list, go over to my blog and there's a place to sign up for it. So I don't really inundate you with a lot of emails, so I promise. And I don't sell your name or give it away to anybody else. So you can feel safe and secure signing up for it. Anyway, you all have a great Wednesday afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.